Hey, Ivanhoe, how are you? I hope you're going well. Sorry about that. Where did my Omnivim go? Alright. I'm just almost set up here. Just doing a couple of final things. I think Omnivim is crashing. Doing well? Oh, that's good to hear. Just came back from a walk. Nice. I will do that. After my last 2 weeks of, deployment hell, I'm back. I'm good. I'm trying to find where Omnivim went. All right. I think I found a bug in Omnivim. Oh, damn. Okay, not a problem. Okay. I'm gonna delete it and I am going to re-download it. I love it when you click on this and yeah. Okay, I'll zoom in for everyone. It remembers me. Oh, that's good. Sorry, I've just eaten. I've just got something in my throat. Oh, that boop was loud. Okay, that won't take too long to download. So today, what we're actually going to tackle is, I'll zoom in so everyone can read this. So we don't have the ability to delete any of these change tasks. So what we want to do is add in that ability. So usually someone who would want to delete this would have an option somewhere to delete it. It will most likely be on the change task information screen itself, so the person has to go in there to delete it. We also want it to pop up a question, a little modal being like, are you sure you want to delete this? So yeah. All right. Did it finish downloading? It should have. And then I'll just drag it into there. Replace. I'm hoping that wasn't too loud. And then let's open it. Oh, I don't have my green screen. Can I get some help?
No, the cat food. It's in the cat food now.
Oh, it is in the cat food. Whoops. All right, there we go. Struggle town over here. Population me. Okay, cool. So that allows it up. Let's hope that this doesn't crash. It just goes over here. All right. Okay. Guess I'll close that. This is the NearBeach Docker. So we want to open up folder. And we want NearBeach. Okay, cool. And let's view a terminal. Like so. Actually, I won't have that there. I'll just have terminal. I bump that over here. So let's cd into PyCharm entitled where we need the source to be there, manage run server. Oops. And then over here we need a cd into sites, NearBeach, and npm run watch. That's all we need for the terminal. So over here, actually, I'm going to make it this screen. The reason being is so I can still have chat. Oh, that's really weird. duplicate tab. Let's take you out. So I usually set this up just before stream, except I was just editing just before stream, so. There we go. Cool. What the hell is going on? Stay. Okay. Let's open up our source. We want a JavaScript components, and what we want is, now these are not tasks. These are change task information. So we want this. I'm just going to increase the and hey, Nocturnal, how are you? I hope you're going well. All right, so let's just use this window. Let's go localhost. Let's go admin. All right, so I don't think I've got a new request for change open at the moment. So what we'll do, new request for change, update RFC, so users can delete change tasks. That's medium 0.29.7. Why not? Let's just bump all those up. So our lead would be me. The group list. Let's also put in QA team. I'm just playing through these right now. I really need to bring back the wizard for this. You're good? That is great to hear. I am finally less hectic and I'm not pulling massive amounts of working hours so to get something done. So yes, working up until late hours of the night is not fun. But it's all done. Project's out. I'm done with the project. Well, I'm not fully finished with the project. I've still got to support it, but it's done. All right, new change task. So, oops, I made a mistake. Okay, let's. Ooh. Okay. Now, in here, we should actually have a delete option. So I'm thinking having it over here next to the cancelled. Because the real button should be saved, and these should be over to the side. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so we've got between dates, we've got all this fun stuff. Down at the bottom, we've got these particular things. So the only time we can really delete is the same time we can save. So I'm just gonna add a new line, delete. So this will be href where JavaScript void is 0. That's an old thing I used to do. Class is going to be button in warning. And that's all I need. I don't need save changes as a class in here. So save changes, I think, ports it to the right side. If, now this is where we have we just copy the same logic as below. Where change, actually, I'm going to keep how it's done down there. So I used to always do it like this because I like to specifically state that, hey, these are like this. Should be 3 equals now. Actually, so the request for change was the first thing I rewrote a long time ago. So there are some things which I was very adamant of actually doing back then, but I have changed since. All right, cool. I don't know. Is the music too loud for you guys? Or is it just me and I had it up too loud on my headset? Hopefully it's not too loud. At least I have the mic turned on this time. Alright. So right here, what we want is we want one that's called delete. On here, it will be delete change task. We'll just go right down to the methods down here. Music, okay, maybe a little louder than normal, but barely. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Delete change task. That will be a function. Event. All right, we got an event to prevent default. Stop the usual stuff. I think we've got a form in here. And we shouldn't have. It should all be JavaScript. Don't think I need that. I think it's when people hit enter or something like that. Alright. It's been a while since I've actually had to edit this section of the code. So yeah, and then what we want to do is add code, add functionality. So let's just have a console log, delete the change task. As easy as that. So wait for it to compile. Gonna just hit refresh here. Ooh, we have an issue. Okay. Says successful. Let's have a look. Can't access property, change task status. Undefined. That would be right here. So what I'm doing, I'm just copying that, just pasting that. Fields. So I've done a typo where I've got field instead of fields. Easy fix. Now we just save that and we wait just a fraction of a second, or just a couple of seconds I should state. Hit refresh, there we go. So now we've got a delete down here. So the problem is the delete's really hard up against this cancel. What I could do is I could put a simple margin right 10 pixels. About like 14 pixels. It's really weird. I'm just being weird with that. All right. So up here with the cancelled, we're just going to put in a class called cancel changes. Easy done, no problem. We are going to find out where I've kept that save changes. That will be part of the SAS. So we're going to the SAS. We're going to components, buttons. So there's our save changes. We're just gonna cancel changes, and then what we have, margin right 14 pixels. Easy done. All right. That will compile, and then we'll just go back here. Is cancel your changes? Oh, yeah. Yes, so cancel is like, oh, all right, I don't want to save any of this, so you cancel to go back here. I didn't want to write it as go back because the problem is people will be like, oh, okay, go back. I've done all my changes. Now I'll go back, and you don't save. So yeah, I purposely made this cancel and save over here. Oh, it's cancel. Anyway, so delete should now work. So deleted change task. Now we don't actually have that in the back end to receive that information. So we might as well build that in the back end. So let's go to the NearBeach stuff. Let's go to the views. And we've got a view specific for change tasks. So, oh, I don't know why the chat didn't update over here. Makes sense once I engaged the brain for a second. No, fair enough. Fair enough. Don't worry, these things happen. I have brain farts all the time. Sadly on stream sometimes too. All right, cool. So what we kind of want to do, change task. We kind of want to steal this up here. Let's just paste it in. Let's make sure there's enough space above. Let's go def change task delete. We've got the request and change task ID. Now, we also need to double check for permissions in here. And I don't think I've actually set up the permissions yet. No, I haven't for change tasks. So I actually have to write that as a bug very quickly. So give me 2 seconds, sorry. Any user can delete change tasks. So what we've got here is method one log into NearBeach as a read only, 2 open up an RFC, 3 go to change tasks section and go to an open CT change task for delete. Expected results. User cannot delete. Factory results. There are no permission checking on either front end or back end. Alright, cool. Let's heading 4. Oh no. Ugh. Into heading 1's is just too much. Alright. And this will be a it is permission, so it does go up to major. This will definitely be a bug. This is definitely submitted. So I can fix this. Subsystem request for change. Create. Cool. So in the meantime, I can submit with no change task. Oh yeah, that one's fixed. So going back here, we need to put in some decorators to check this out. But because it's a change task, it relies on the request for changes ID. So I need to actually create a decorator for this. So yeah, but we'll figure that logic out next. Let's get running with this. So a simple let's make sure a simple function to delete the change task. All right, cool. So form equals change task form. I do believe that is the form we want. I'm going to double check that by going to forms. So should be using my keyboard here just to do this. Open Don't know how to do it with my keyboard just yet, so that's something I'll find out in a few weeks. So what I want to do is go to forms, change task form, bang it in here. So that's not the change task form I want. Right, there must be a object class object. All right. Single loop. Change task. So we've got change task form, but we want one where it's just the ID feeding through. And this is just for validation checks that that Django has built in. All right, class S, bang down here. Don't sit on my keyboard, sweetie. No, sit. Just, yeah, sit there. Look, sweetie. Socks, come back. Sit here. Oh, you went to your bed. Come on. All right, you get it to go on the camera. There we go, sweetie. All right, so what I want to do is I want to create a class that's single. And Nocturnal has given you treat socks. All right. Yes, you're pretty excited. We'll bump this down slightly so people can see you eat the treats. All right, 1, 2, 3. I'll move the little me out of the way, and we'll put it on the secret screen. Robotic head 0, cat 1. Yes. She knows how to get it. She knows how to get those treats. The cats always win. Yes, yes they do. Ooh. Oh, whoops, I had the wrong... Sorry about that, I had the wrong thing on the thing. Whilst we're looking over there, so class, don't worry what I'm doing, I'm just saying stuff out loud whilst I do it. So single, change task form, actually, no, this is... And hey, Aiden, how are you? All right, there goes. Oh, okay. So, and then she went back to the bed. All right, cool. Sucks. You only get one pair of treats. Okay, so I'm just trying to think, because I just want to validate when the form comes through of just an ID. I might as well keep it all. All right. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Yep, okay, cool. I might as well do something like this. So class, scroll down so you guys can actually see. Change task ID form. Forms.model form. Great, so what we have is a class meta. We'll have the model equals to the change task, and the fields equal to just the change task ID. That's all we need. Actually, no, we don't need any of this, because I'll feed through the ID in the URL. You're good? Yeah. Okay, that's great to hear. As for me, I just finished a really, really busy work week. So, yes, that was a lot of not fun, but it's deployed. That's all I care about at the moment. All right, so we don't need to do any of the form stuff. We just need to get the change task. So change task delete is the variable we're going to call it, is change task dot objects dot get with a change task ID equals the change task ID. So we are just feeding it through up there, and then update the change task is deleted to true. Change task delete dot is deleted equals true. Change task delete dot save. And then what we do, send back success. It happens sometimes with a deployment. So a lot of it was my responsibility, so I just took that responsibility on. Got a client which wants to make a video game last night. Oh, all right. Video game programming is completely and utterly different to web development. I find it interesting because it's because it's programming. So you got that sort of commonplace, but at the same time, it's completely different. Yeah, a lot of math in it, which I find interesting. Return HTTP response. That's just going to be blank, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay. A lot more math here. Yeah. So at my last job, they were asking if actually, sadly we didn't get this to completion, but if you guys have ever heard of 3JS, it's a great tool. All right, that's not a working example, but you can do like this 3D stuff in the browser. I'll tell you what, examples. I'm going to click on examples. It's going to be a lot easier just to show you. Anyway, so you can do a lot of 3D stuff in a browser. And this is where my math background, year of it never been tortured with it. Heard of it, but never been tortured with it. All right. I actually enjoyed it. It was fun to learn, and it was I actually had to read up on how all this sort of comes together. Anyway, so I had to do a simple thing where you got endpoints on a sphere, and they have to be sort of equally distanced. And the problem is you've got to, if you have endpoints, not every single number, so 5 for example, cannot be evenly spaced whatsoever from every single point. Which is kind of fun in itself. So I had to do all the math to actually figure out an approximation to it. And the approximation is really, really good. And it ended up being really, really fast to calculate. So a lot of fun, which I was doing last year. Pity it just didn't go anywhere, but that's fine. They had an idea, it's just there wasn't data, and yeah. But I did find it fun to play around with this and learn it, and then yeah. But yeah, completely and utterly different style of how it programs, because you got to deal with this and that. So yeah, they formed a small team, but no one knows anything about game dev because they wanted help making it. They are also getting involved with making it. Oh, okay. There's a lot for game dev. From what I can tell, there's a lot. So yeah, I wish them all the luck though. So yeah. All right, so we've just made the back end, like so. Now with the URLs. So we've got change task somewhere in here. Change task There it is. I'll scroll down. So essentially, we want it above here. Delete, change task views, change task, delete. I'm just keeping this all in one line for the moment. Change task, delete. All right, cool. We're going to be using Unity with C#. Oh, nice. And I already know C# because I did some at school. Oh, that's good. That is good. I sadly don't know enough about game programming. I know a bit about C#, but yeah, I just wouldn't know where to start with it. I mean, Game Maker's Toolkit is... Wait, let me... Game Maker's Toolkit. I'm like, oh, okay, I know a little bit about this and that and stuff like that. I won't play any of his on here. And then I remember one day he was talking about, I think, Super Meat Boy and the level designs and stuff like that, and it just blew my mind how much I just didn't know about the whole gaming process. Like, that was just design specific. So yeah. Unity is very beginner friendly. I honestly wouldn't know, but yeah, that's good to hear. All I know is, yeah, I just don't have the design chops for making a game myself. All right, so we've got a back end now. Now we just got to do the front end. So it should be easy for me to pick up. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah. My issue is I want to build a new game engine first. Yep. Okay. Yep. Fair enough. There is actually a what's his name? Andrew Bolt? No. There is actually a streamer that I watch who is building his own engine, Haskell engine, and he does it on stream. And he's another Australian. I don't think this is it. Sweet. I might be thinking of a different engine. Yeah, I'm thinking of a different engine. But the guy does stream on Twitch. I don't know design, but in the team he got a designer and graphics person. Oh, that's good. And use an off-the-shelf programming language. No. You use XKCD, real programmers. Use butterfly wings. Except this is for writing code and stuff like that. So. All right, getting back into this. So let's hit the delete. Okay, first things first, let's just use the Axios send the trigger. So this will be a post. There'll be no data needed. So root URL, then change task information, and then that would be Okay. So with the response, we actually want to send them back to the old one. So I am just going to copy these two lines. So if successful, go back. So window location. So that would just take us back. If error, what we want to do is oh, too far. Oh, we don't want to do anything yet. All right. Frameworks, while great, piss me off why I use Flask instead of Django most of the time, but fair enough. Fair enough. I haven't actually played around with Flask. I do have a friend who did, and he says it's really nice. And I think he said it's like lightweight Django. Not my words. I have not yet played around with it. It's one of those things that when I have another project to do, I do want to sink my teeth into it. So, yeah. Have tried Django? I like Django. But then again, I am biased. So, yeah. The only reason why I actually picked Django, and this is the truthful reason, was I went here and I typed in Python Web Framework. Alright. Django project popped up first. I clicked on it. I went in. I was like, alright, cool, getting started. Alright. And take the tutorial. And essentially in 10 minutes, it probably was a bit longer than that. It was probably about half an hour. I was like, alright, cool. I can use this. And that's how NearBeach started. So yeah, and that's why I picked Django. So yeah, if I had picked any other language, so PHP Web Framework, I'd done the exact same thing back then. I would have probably clicked on one of these, scrolled down, and been like, through half of this, yeah, keep going, tell me the frameworks. I would have fallen on Laravel and been like, all right, cool, jump into Laravel, getting started. Hopefully get through this, and then assumingly I would be like, oh, okay, cool, I got a website up and running, and be like, I know how to use this. So yeah. That's how I started using Django. If Flask was the one above that, it would have most likely been Flask. So yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to refresh here. I do believe that has done, so I'm just going to hit the delete. And we go back here and it's all deleted, which is great. That was actually really quick. I expected something to break this time. That was too quick. Alright, no, I'm happy with that. That's good news. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to compile. Actually, no, I'm not going to compile. I'm going to just push the code, because we do a compile when we do a build. So git checkout. Git checkout. We're just going to remove all the static files. I'm gonna write in status wrong and write static uck. So we have changed the URLs, we have changed the tasks, we have changed that, and we have changed that. So git add everything, git commit, added, bug fix, this is a bug fix, remind me in 15 days to delete that command. Oh, yes! Well, it'll probably happen in about 2 weeks when we start talking about, well, which is 15 days, where we talk another little rant of frameworks. Alright, So, cannot delete this. There is a way to, I think it's this. It gives me the ID and stuff like that. Cool. Hit push. All right, cool. Again, run watch. Yeah. Someone fell for it. The £5 that Aiden spent on that domain, well worth it. There's also the what is it? This is not a Rick roll, I swear. Wait. No, that's not it. Not a Rick roll, I swear. Yep, there it is. Not a Rick roll, I swear. Alright, so we've done this. This is state. That's what I'm after. This is ready for retesting. I'm gonna get rid of this resolution because that is, okay, I don't need that. That's an extra field. I need to get rid of a lot of these. All right. So cannot delete. All right. So now we've got to fix this one. It's going to cost me $21 to renew. Jesus. Can you move it to Cloudflare? In 15 days, you can move it to Cloudflare. Oh, okay, yep. So then it becomes just like a basic sort of... Because they charge just the cover cost. I don't think the TLG is support. Oh, damn it. Alright. Yep, no, fair enough. Damn. Alright, I've got to probably move a couple of mine over, but... Yeah. Alright, so going here, so a read-only user can log in. So we're going to open up a container, a Firefox container, jump into here, realize it's admin, log out. Read-only back into here. Alright, so the RFC is 8. I really got to start working on the dashboard because I do have plans for the dashboard and I probably will need some design help with what I want to actually display. So the idea is I want to keep the unassigned tasks and stuff like that, but I also want to have users have the ability to switch off certain key dashboard components and eventually sort of move them around. Ivanhoe revive. Alright, cool. Where is my Rubik's Cube? I've got a helicopter cube. Oh, I had one on the table. Okay, it's just over there. I'm going to get it, and I'll be right back. Hey, socks. All right. So, Ivanhoe. I just realized that also sometimes this becomes see-through. Alright, I'll just turn that down. Yeah, it's coming through like that, but that's not a problem. Give me a couple of seconds. Shoot, what is it? I know I'm putting something on here. Not transform, .dealer, blend mode. So I'm turning off the green screen. Filters. Chroma key. Alright, cool. I'll turn that off. I realize it's very bright where I am. Don't know why the camera is not picking up. So Ivanhoe, you've got a choice of colors. So red, blue, orange, green, white, or yellow. And that's the side I will solve first. I'm just messing this up. Here comes Socks. Yellow, all right, so I'm trying to, so that's yellow there. Right, it is super bright on the screen. Why is it so bright? Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I've got to try and fix this up. I didn't realize how bright it was. Oh, all right, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Whoops. All right, I might just turn that off. All right, so there's yellow. So what I want to do is I want to get the cross up. I don't know if turning off the lights helped. No, it didn't. But was leaning over, I don't know. Okay, there's yellow. Sorry, this is struggle town at the moment. I usually go a lot faster, I swear. So there's yellow. Come on, come on, focus. All right, you have to believe me, that's yellow. All right, that's orange. So once I've done that, it's essentially just building up the rest. Like so, and then get the top corners, and then all right, so there's the Rubik's Cube solved. I didn't realize how bright it. Why am I having so much trouble focusing? All right. A blurry solve. So I'm just now turning back on the chroma key. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, that was weird how it was just yeah. Just wasn't focusing. I was super bright. I'm still super bright, but well, I think the more ginger came out of me before. So yeah. Anyway, this is read only. Oh, I don't have a task in there. The clue, yes, this one particularly is. I do have another one which is harder to turn just because it's old, which isn't so glossy. So yeah, that's probably it. I also have a helicopter cube, which I have not figured out how to solve yet. So I might take it on the plane when we're going to South Korea and try and solve it there. So I also have a 4x4 somewhere back here. All right. Well, which it's got the parrot, whatever that's called. I think it's parody. It's something fancy. Socks thought there were treats then. No, there was no treats. Socks, sorry. All right, we're just adding in this. Can the read only user delete this? So implementation, team leader, blah, blah, blah. So, and change task. So it's number 9. So the idea is they can. So we've got to stop that at the front end and the back end. Now we don't have permissions yet for these guys. So they would hijack the permissions from the request for change. Yeah, I might have to... Let's think about this. So a decorator wraps around function. So like these two decorators are wrapped around this particular function, so they have to pass through here. So it has to make sure, hey, this is post, yep, cool. Hey, the user is logged in, yep, cool. Then it runs this function. Just remember, I have a meeting in 30 minutes. Oh, damn. Oh, good luck with the meeting. Oh, well, you're not going right now, I'm assuming. I don't know why I said that. 30 minutes till meeting. However, I've been known to get to a meeting 15 minutes early on Teams. Lunchtime meetings are so annoying, yeah. Alright, so what I want to do is let's have a look at the decorators. So check user permissions. So as you can see, I've already got some decorators for different parts of NearBeach. A lot of the times, the vast majority of the decorators will cover I think 60% of the permissions. The rest cover the 40%, and that's the special cases. So for example, requirement items need to actually look up the requirement to see if the user actually has that permission. And this is going to be the same case with this change task. It should be quick. Hopefully, just going over some Discord bot setup. Oh, nice. So we've got Kanban board, which is another one with a special permission. Organization, special permission. Check user permission. This checks the vast majority of them. Check user requirement. Check RFC permission. So we're going to hijack this. And when I say hijack, I mean what we want to look at is we want to get from the change user, and then from that, the change task, and from that get the RFC ID, in which case then we can look this up. So we can simplify this at the same time because I feel like I can utilize some of the code in here. So, yeah. I made this Discord bot to follow users around and play an audio clip when they enter a VC. Sorry, I've just got the Malcolm in the Middle where the pianist is playing music at the hotel, and he's playing like as people are doing stuff. All right, so if the length of kwogs is greater than 0, actually, yeah, it's just. That bot, you're never gonna give up, you know, you're never gonna let that bot down. Alright, so I could potentially put this in a function, which is called in here. So if kwogs is greater than 0, if we are passing an object lookup through, we will determine if there's any crossover with the groups and right. So I'm just remembering at what point. Okay, user level. Oh, okay, yep. If there's any with a certain song, yep. Several is greater than them. All right. I gotta. essentially utilize a lot of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how I've set this up and where. So just because these have been working so well, I haven't actually gone back to the code. So the code's a bit rusty here. Request for change. I don't know that the request for changes get slightly complicated. So check RFC permissions, minimal level permission 3. This is new request for change. There are no other arguments in there. Okay, so it should be borrowing something from here. Alright. Once again, no extra arguments. No extra arguments. Oh wait, I'm looking at quags, aren't I? Okay, let's start from the top again. New request for change. The quags are not there. New request for change. Request, no. Alright, here's a quag. We've got RFC ID. So it looks like RFC ID is the only one being fed through. I think I can't. Yeah, I don't think I can use this. I don't think I can gut it out. But I can use the same sort of logic. We know that it's going to pass through a change task ID. We're going to utilize that for this. So, yes. But we also have to, damn, we have to do this for other. As for the discord.py, I'm not sure. Use this example, the Discord blob master examples basic voice. All right, let's have a look. Because I need a break from this as I ponder in my head what I'm going to actually do. I'm gonna... Actually, it'll be easier if I do this. Cut that out, close that. Just open it up in a new tab over here. All right, and zooming in. All right. I've never used discord.py, so I'm going to guess some of this stuff. Suppress noises about console usage and errors. All right, cool. YouTube format options, best audio. Yep. All right, cool. That's just object. All right, cool. YouTube source. Class method. Command. All right, A sucks. Last merge was 20 hours ago. They could have just had a break for a little bit and then decided to come back. I had a week, well, not a week break, but I've had breaks from NearBeach. Some forced. So. Alright, async def on ready, logged in as yep. Main async with bot, await, cog, and start. Oh, neat. Sure voice. Ooh. Oh, lambda functions. Oh, yes. Alright, I better jump back into this. Okay. So it's gonna follow a similar structure to this. So It's going to be called check user change tasks, which goes up at the very top. And then what we need is min permission level, and then we need... Sorry, I'm just double checking that. Actually, I'm going to write it down there because there's quite a lot of code which I need to do, sort of copy. But what will happen is I'll port it up. Def check change task permissions. I like to call it check user change task path. So once again, we're passing through the minimum level that we need, and then we're just stating check the user's ability to interact with change tasks via the RFC. Cool. And hello, Shivered C. Thank you very much for the raid. How are you today? And how was your stream? Howdy. I need to fix that up, that Nightbot. Oops. Oh, cheers. We were doing some binary codes. Ooh. Is that an app? Because I hope you weren't going, all right, this is the binary for this. Because I would be like, oh God. Binary codes will... Oh, okay, no, don't worry. I was on the wrong page. Yes, I know what... Yep, I think so. No, I'm crazy. Don't worry. Binary search, yes. Yep, cool. How was it? It's similar to LeetCode. Oh, nice. So yeah, I've heard of LeetCode. I will one day sit down and do some of it. So yeah, I've just been lucky that I haven't needed to yet. So yeah. Decorators. So welcome. I'll quickly do a little spiel of what I'm doing here. My name's Robotic Head. I am a developer. Yay. I've been working on an open source project management system for a number of years. Back in the good old 2020 in August, which was 2 years ago, I decided to delete pretty much the vast majority of my code base and rewrite it. Why? Because I had learned so much from web development in the number of years of building it that I decided I can build it better. And it's now like this. I've stripped out functionality that isn't needed for a project management system, so you can store customers, organizations, Kanban boards, projects, RFCs, requirements, and have little tiny tasks. So yes, welcome everyone. And welcome Bexy6565. You hate it, but it was something different. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I have not tried binary search, so yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm just, I've run out of things to say. My brain just went, woo! Yes, so yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So we're trying to fix a bug where, so I have different levels of permissions in NearBeach, and one of them is a read-only user. Well, actually, it's more granular than set like that. But I've got a read-only user who could only do read-only things. We know this is an issue where this read-only person can delete a change task. And the thing is, we actually are not feeding in through the user's permission for that particular object. So yeah, we're currently fixing this bug. What are you up to, sir? Well, I am programming NearBeach. So we've got a sort of, I'll zoom in so you guys can get a better look at it. So essentially at the moment, a read-only user can hit this delete button. So we've got to do two things. One, we've got to remove the delete button for the read-only user so they don't get enticed by deleting it. And two, we've got to make sure that the back end doesn't actually accept a read-only person's trigger for deleting this. So yeah, the UI looks so nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So yeah, I'm not the best at UI, so thank you very much. There's a lot of room for improvement, and I fully understand. So yeah, this is as simple as I can get the UI to look for doing something very complicated. So I'm trying to strip it down to what you only need, and yeah. The command edit ISO result. All right, cool. Thank you very much, Aiden. Greatly appreciated. Anyway, so getting back to this, I realized I just think I deleted that. Yeah, I deleted that change task. So I'll just create a new change task. So, for those who don't know what an RFC is, it's a request for change. I do believe there are other names for it too, but for a few programs I've used for when I was working at the university always called it request for change. So a request for change essentially states what a person is going to do to make the change, what are the risks, who's involved, what's the backup plan, what's the test plan, and a simple run sheet of who does what when. So we are doing that right now. Gulf of execution evaluation are good UX systems to consider. I have Gulf of evaluation. Is that a book? Oh, no. All right, cool. In computer science, the Gulf of evaluation is the degree into which the system or artifact provides representation that can be directly perceived and interpreted in terms of... Okay, cool. Now, some of you might have already picked up, I actually have a maths background. So I fell into web dev, and I've been developing ever since. So, yeah. That's my story. Anyway, where was I? I was making sure we are getting the user permissions. So what we're doing in here is we're creating a decorator. So a decorator will be used at the start of most of these functions to check, to make sure that these functions can be run. In the top decorator here, the required methods, HTTP methods, sorry, we require post. For this one, we require the user to be logged in. For this one, we require the user to have a minimum permission level of 1. So, I'm writing a decorator for the change tasks. Now, with the decorators, instead of having a single decorator for one particular function, we try and write it to cover as many as possible. For about 60% of NearBeach, just requires one decorator to check if the user has permission for that particular object, but certain objects have specific permission rules, so we have to change it a bit slightly, and this is one of them, because with the change task is connected directly to the RFC, so if the user can edit the RFC, they can edit the change tasks. So we're going to go through that right now. So what we want is we want to do this as a function, and this will simply wraps the function where the def inner request, and then we got args, and we got quargs. All right, this is where it will be slightly different. Actually, if user is admin, grant them all permissions. That's stock standard stuff. And admin will be able to do anything that they want because they're an admin. Request user is super user. And that's the command I was looking for the other day. Function with a user level of 4. And then return func request args quargs user level equals 4. Okay, easy done. Just using RABC auth. I don't know what that is exactly, sorry. So I'm using Django, and Django in itself has its own authentication built into it, so I'm heavily leaning on that with a corrupt. Role-based access controls. Ah, cool, sorry. Acronyms and me just don't mix really well. I used to work at a university. I had so many acronyms in my head. When I left, I didn't know what to do with them. So if I actually show you, let's go team intern and stuff like that. So you've got the usual sort of, that's just naming convention. You got admin permissions and so forth. So I've structured it a bit. All good. I was glad when I actually kind of left, and not very many other places will use permissions as much as a university. The university really heavily uses them. Even in things which you don't think are an acronym, It's mental. Anyway, getting back to this, for most of the permissions, we've got 0 to 4, where 0 is no permission, read only is 1, edit is 2, add and edit is 3, and then full permission is 4. So the difference with full permission and add and edit is full permission can actually delete. My job gave me 3 pages of acronyms one day. Oh God. I had a whiteboard when I first started at this university, and I was 23 at the time. This is the first job, like a proper job. Yep, so much. So essentially, a lot of these will have that, and then the extra permissions is a simple they have or don't have that permission. But this is for like little tiny things. So if they can upload a document, they can write notes, they can comment on Kanban boards, and so forth like that. So yeah, I'm trying to program NearBeach with a very granular sort of permission, because you might actually have users where you only want them to sort of comment on certain things, but have them be able to create tasks. So yeah, and albeit the whiteboard wasn't that big at the time, but you know what, 3 pages of acronyms. Yep. And then you get weird acronyms which are missing A's or just don't get me started. Jeez. Yeah. Fine-grained access is a nightmare to implement. Yes, it is. However, I'm using math-based sort of approach, which is why these are 1 to 4. And the idea is these are permission sets. So you can actually grant these permission sets to people in the sense that you can grant 1 or more sets. And the idea is they just take the highest number out of all those sets for that particular granular permission. Bit of a pain, and you'll see why when I write the decorator, why it can be a bit tricky, but it kind of works. It's famous last words. It works, so I'm happy. All right, cool. So let's get straight off the bat. We'll need the RFC ID. So obtain the RFC ID. So now, because this is a nested object, so this object belongs under the RFC, it should inherit all the user's permissions from the RFC. So RFC ID equals we will just need to get the change task dot objects dot get, and then change task ID equals. Oh, we're not actually passing the change task ID through. Okay, I'm doing this way too soon. All right. Default user level is 0. User group results equals user group dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false. Username equals request dot user. So this is just grabbing all the user groups that the user is assigned to. So the permissions, this is where it gets a bit confusing. I do apologize for all those new coming in who don't know how this is actually set up. So these are permission sets. If we actually go to a user, so let's say we'll go to Socks. Socks being my cat who's just over there at the moment. She just doesn't want to be on stream tonight. If we go down here, the empty group is actually named empty group, so don't worry, that's not a bug. So this particular user empty group is connected to the empty group with the permission list team leader. And then that's actually meant to be add permissions. So you would be like, all right, cool. We also want to give them the QA permissions to another group. So for example, there might be a secondary deployment team or something like that, or so forth like that. In this case, this is the QA team. And let's say you need just only read-only access to their stuff. You would add that in. And that's actually meant to show out a lot better than that. That is actually a bug, which I thought I fixed, but clearly didn't. Okay, sorry. This is layout of user permissions incorrect. Okay. I'm terribly sorry if you hear the snoring. That is my partner snoring. Sometimes you can hear them, sometimes you can't. But oh wait, they just woke up. Anyway, in the above screenshot, the user should have the group permission slash group. Sorry about that. Setup of the following. So we had empty group was connected to team leader, and the QA group was connected to read only. There should be multiple lines for this. Thank you, Ivanhoe. So this is, it is a permissions issue, so it goes up to major. This is the bug. This is submitted. This will be assigned to me. This is permissions, and yeah. And welcome back, Aiden. Okay, so I will have to fix that next, but we'll keep going forward with what we've got. So, where was I? I was passing through the decorator stuff. So here I was. So we've got the user groups. And then the next step we do is we are passing in any args like change task ID. We want to do the following. So for this specific decorator, we know we're only going to pass through change task ID. So if the length of the quargs is greater than 0, determine if there are any crossover change tasks. So with this particular thing, I'll show you what's happening down here. So with this particular thing, what it does is it gets the group results. I don't know why I'm doing that then. My user group results are in here. Okay, cool. Yep, that's perfectly fine. So down here for the RFC, what's actually happening is we'll get the group results, group objects filter, where is deleted, making sure that the permissions aren't deleted. The group ID is in an object assignment to that user where the RFC, this is where it gets so confusing. I'm so sorry. I need to actually explain this a lot better. Where start with this, all right? So we've got object assignment. So object assignment is where everything is the table where everything holds. There's a table where all object assignments are happening. So you've got two different objects. A user is then assigned to a project, they go onto there. A project is linked to a task, that goes in there, and so forth like that. It's all just one congealed place. In this sort of case, it also houses some of that information too. So we want to see if the user's group is in there. So if the user has a group, which is this object, so object assignment, objects filter is deleted false, request for change. So we're getting the RFC ID there and the group ID. So it's getting the RFCs, group IDs, and then up here, we're being like, okay, so the group ID is there, and the user is a part of that group. So we're using the exact same thing up there. 14. I'm just slowly getting used to doing this on the keyboard. So we're going to paste this, but first, I thought I did the capital. Get the RFC ID. So we know that there's a change task ID in here. So we are going to extract that out. Uh-oh, why are we laughing at me? Is that the sneeze? Well, someone is late to the meeting and ate me. Oh, that's good to hear. All right. So we've got the RFC ID. Actually, yes, is change task.objects.get change task ID equals, and this is where we use our quags, and then we've got change task ID. And then from here, we just need the RFC ID, but I forgot what it's called. Time to eat lunch since they aren't only online. Ah, damn. It's a bit rude of them. I was actually having a chat with this with one of my co-workers the other day, talking about the university. Some directors at the university would cancel meetings after 5 minutes. So if people were late more than 5 minutes, bang, meeting done. You're just gonna have to rebook it another day. And I'm like, I really like that. So what we're looking here is a link to the change, the request for change, which we don't have a direct link, which it goes by the objects then. Object assignments. So request for change. Do we have change task in here? I thought so. Got RFC. Am I just looking in the wrong? No, that's blocks. I think it's a time zone issue. Oh, damn. Either that I'm an hour early. Oh. Hopefully not an hour late. how am I connecting this again? Oh, here, there it is, right in front of me. Request for change. It is actually up here, so it's just RFC. Request for change. Actually, we want the ID. So we want the request for change ID. So that gives us the ID there, which we can, I should be using my keyboard instead of my mouse. I know that. RFC ID. Okay. So it's almost the same logic as the one down below, but we're just pulling the RFC from the change task. And the problem is I don't want to confuse the one down below by hijacking it with the change task when it's just easy to do it like this. Because this is already confusing enough. Yeah, cool. So there's our Venn diagram where we've got the RFC, the change tasks, RFCs, groups overlapping with what we've got. And then the last of it, so we've got 4 lines where we want to make sure that that length is not 0. Ah. 310. I don't know page up yet. Alright, cool. Check to make sure that the groups user intersects. So if the RFC groups intersects with the user groups, we're fine. If not, we're going to be like, this person doesn't have permission, denied straight away. Okay, after that, we get the max permission value from the user group result. So we get the max permission. So this is literally just some SQL in there. So this is an ORM. So object relation. I keep forgetting what it's called. Django ORM. What does it stand for? Come on, tell me. Another acronym, which is making me trip up. Object relationship models. Don't quote me on that. I'm just making that name up. But ORM. So this is just ORM. And what it does is it gets that max value of what we want, which is the RFC in this particular case. And then what it does is if the user's level is greater than the minimum permission, it will send it all back. Otherwise, it all denies everything else. So that's 19 to 30, so it's at 10, 12. Not 13, actually. Object relationship mapper. Thank you very much, Nocturnal. I knew someone would have it. Clearly not me. All right. You think too? Oh, okay. Well, I think you're right. I think you're right. I wouldn't trust what I called it. So, yeah. All right, so that should be it. So now, 3790. Oh, how much? All right. I am going to have to. I wish this would. Give me 2 seconds. I am pulling out my trusty pen and paper. 293. I can't do the calculations in my head at the moment. I'm terribly sorry. 237. 635. 56. the leaky abstraction for DB tables. There's a violet in my brain, yep. See, I don't mind it. See, I still love SQL. I did quite a lot of SQL when I was a data scientist before the data scientist term was actually coined. This is going back 12 years ago now. So yeah, I don't mind it. Violet in my brain. Rows, not ables. Abstraction for DB rows. Okay, yep. I like it. It has its benefits. It also has there's some things which are just so much easier to do in raw SQL. But in this sort of case, I mean, we got there. I understood this eventually. Anyway, so let's test this out. So we gotta. Okay, I understand why I shortened the other one. Okay, so request for change, we can close that now. So going over here, from NearBeach.decorators, import check change task permissions. I think that will be fine. So change task information. So this is where we've got change task. Check change task permissions. Where min. I agree. They are an awesome idea. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I also love SQL. I think this is just another tool. A min permissions level. So when we're doing task change information, we only need a permission level of 1. So read-only users should be able to access this. Yeah, change task information. So if I go to refresh this page, oh, I've broken something. All right. Check change task permissions. All right, I've done something. So I've done something wrong here. Let me see what I've done in request for change. Oh, okay. So you've got to do it slightly different. I'm just pasting this for reference. So dot, oh, what happened then? Oops. You know what happened? I didn't press the I. Check change task permissions, import check change task permissions. I think. I am about 50% sure. All right. Oop, wrong one. Check ROC permissions. All right. Tell you what, I know exactly where I've gone wrong. Okay, so over here, we've got NearBeach decorators, and then we've got the file name check user permissions. This is meant to be check user permissions. And then we've got the change task permissions. That's it. Simple mistake. Got an unexpected argument, minimum permission level. Right. Sometimes you just need to copy and paste code. The reason being is you can find out where you've done your spelling mistake, because I am terrible at finding where I've done my spelling mistake. Permission level, so singular. So bang that with an A, hit that like that, remove that, save that, bang it over, all is good. So if we refresh this, we should actually have a change task. If we go into the change task, we've got change task is not defined. Right, cool. So this is the second stage of what we've got to do. So if we've got new requests for change, we've got to add in these args and quags. So under the change task, wrong file. Did I close the... Oh no, here I am. Change task information, we've got... Yep, we've got the ID. Change task is not defined. Oh. Alright. No. I know what this is, what has gone wrong. So if we go all the way up to the top, I haven't imported that model. That's it. So if I save that, this should be perfectly fine. Done. That was it. So yeah, I just need to import that model. The reason why I have really been leaning down, instead of using the wildcard for pulling in stuff, I have been sort of explicitly stating what models are used where and stuff like that. I'm trying to get rid of functions and all that kind of stuff which aren't needed in that particular file. Apparently that's good practice. So as you can see, this particular user can access it. Now, do I actually have a user for no access? Let's list customers. I should be actually, as an admin, users. It should be like an user no permissions. No, I don't have a no permissions user. All right, that's not a problem. But what we can actually do is, we're happy that this user gets here. What we can actually do is test a different area. So I'm just going to copy that. Going to look for the next def. Come down here. I'm going to paste this in. This is change task delete. So a level 4 can only delete this. All right. So let's hit the next. Change task save. So a of 2. So 1 is read only. 2 is edit. Add and edit. 2 is edit, 3 is add, and 4 is delete. Yep. I had these written down somewhere. And then down here, update status. That's at simple 2. We're back up at the top. So we don't have new change task in here. So let's... Yeah, we don't have new in here. So that must be under the request for change. New request for change. This would be a new change task. So it's under here. And this relies on the RFC permissions directly. So it just checks out the RFC permissions. We've already got the RFC ID in here. So we're going to leave that as is. So we won't be able to test that. So, but I'll show you what it looks like from up here. So if I go new request for change, bang, access denied. So yeah. All right. Alright, what's the time? Oh, I've got plenty of time. So, the good news about this, and this is where the decorators become quite powerful, is, let's take this. You'll notice that I push the user level down. I also do it down here too. So what we can actually do is hijack that and actually push that into the template. So, how do we do that? Let's take this one. So we've got a permission level of 3. No, let's new request for change. So permission level 3. No, we want information. Because the information will actually gets this information. So as you can see down here, the C user level equals quarks, and so forth like that. So it just takes it from the quarks. Okay, I just messaged the person who was late with eyes emoji time to see what's happening now. Cool. Don't forget to send a GIF. Very important. I'm slowly introducing just GIFs at work. Someone asked me a question and I'll just sometimes respond in a GIF. Alright, so change task information. So this is what we want. This is where we want it. So we've got the context here. Now I'm just pasting this reference. User level will actually go before it. So user level will equal the quarks and then user level. So we're just going to paste it in like that. No problem. Gonna hit save. And that will actually feed into the template. So we know the template is going to be request for change task information. Gifts got banned at school because IT upstairs. Oh, damn. Ah, you poor IT. Okay, this is, oh, how did I do this? I forgot how I did this, but it was freaking ingenious. Actually, no, I remember how I did this now. So back at the university, it was impossible to change the desktop wallpapers because of a security thing. I don't know, some security profile that they set up and deployed to every single computer. But I found a workaround, and it was genius. Now the thing is, I had socks as my desktop background because there was one time during an IT call, I was like, "Can you see my desktop?" And they're like, "No." But my mouse is moving around on the screen. They could see my desktop. They're just too. They were not savvy enough with computers to realize that they were actually looking at my screen. So I had socks as a desktop background and would say, "Can you see socks?" And this became a regular sort of thing when people would call me up. And there's a reason why they had to view my screen. It's because I couldn't log into their screen with, I couldn't log into their computer, into the program with admin rights because it became a security issue. But they had to view me actually take down a particular thing because of procedures and stuff like that. I just like IT because they make it, everyone only has 5 gigs. Yep. Debug by a cat. Yeah, pretty much. So I would essentially get them to view my desktop and I'd be like, "Can you see my desktop?" And they'll be like, "Yes." And then I'm like, "Great. Now I can actually do this thing." The problem was when they implemented this security policy on all the computers, it stopped me from doing that, but I found a workaround. I just used Bash. Not Bash, the Windows equivalent. So every single time the computer would boot up, it would wait about 10 seconds until the security policy had been re-implemented, making sure it overrides the, PowerShell, make sure that it overrides the background, and then mine just goes, "Alright, cool. I can also run that command." So I had it so it would change my desktop background. Take that, IT. In fact, someone at IT was actually being like, "Damn, that's just so petty." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you need it when you're dealing with people who just don't know what's going on with computers." Man, I hated that job. Never worked in IT. I feel sorry for all those who are, let's just say that. And no offense if you are working in IT. It's just, it's not a job for me. And I've absolutely lost my train of thought. What I was doing. Oh, it was RFCs. Yes, I checked that. All right, cool. We're happy. That desktop background is very important. It is. My work computer actually has a desktop background of a picture I took when I was in Fiji. I love the picture. It's really, really nice. I'll see if I can try and find it on my phone very, very quickly. They allowed me to change my desktop background. Then again, they don't give a flying hoot of what it is. So this is the, just wait there, there's the thing. It's not focusing, but you know, lovely sunset, boat, and all that kind of stuff. I really like that photo. All right. Oh yes, we're feeding the permissions through into the change task information. So let's go into NearBeach. We want the views, not the views. Sorry, the templates, because Django's a bit different to .NET, just slightly. Yeah, it was actually really nice. I really enjoyed Fiji, except it was quite expensive. So room is, when I get back to school from last year, IT removed the network drive and moved everything to OneDrive, which we were also using, leaving us with less storage. Oof. I forgot how much storage we had. We didn't have much when I first started, because this is before 2006. It's before Google, just, you know, before they were not evil. Let's just say that. Yeah, Google Drive had more space than our, and Google Drive back then had like 1 gig or 2 gigs of space. Had more space than our emails. Our network drive has 500 megabytes on it, and OneDrive has 5 gigabytes. Oh god. Damn. Request for change. This is where you use something like Nextcloud. Set up your own little computer at home and just create your own like personalized Google Drive type of scenario. I used to run this before NearBeach became a not-for-profit, and I needed to actually store stuff in a cloud-like setting. I used to have 10 gigs. I got them to install SFA and mounted my lab machine over the network. Ooh, nice. Yeah, Nextcloud is great. It's been a while since I've actually installed it, so yeah. Okay, change task information. So we're in here, and what we want to actually push down is vbind user level equals, and then we just go user level, like so. So that should put it down into change task information, and now we just need to find change task information in the JavaScript component, which we have open over here. So let's go to the procs, user level. This is going to be type of number, default of 0. So no permissions by default. And when I asked for them for 10 gigs, they were super annoyed about it and refused to do it. Yeah, this is, yeah. All right, so we've got the user level up. So first things first. The cancel will be fine. The cancel doesn't need any permissions on it. Delete. This is where we go through all of these, and user level equals to 4 for deleting. Remember, deleting is the last permission, is the 4th type of thing. Save, and user level is just greater or equal to 2. what's this one? Start change task. Yep, this is also the same. User level is greater or equal to 2 because anyone can do that. Anyone who can edit, I should state. Finish change task. Oh, this is a good one. Alright, we don't want read-only to be able to click on these by mistake. And user level is greater or equal to 2. So the idea of an RFC, and this is an idea which I've got to actually do later down the track and actually plan properly, is I want the ability to give private links for the RFC. So what actually happens is that someone will get a link and they bypass the login and they're only a read-only user. So when they come in, all they can see is just how everything's laid out. They can't change anything, but they'll be able to refresh and it will be able to literally show what's going on and all that kind of fun stuff. So that is an idea. So yes, I do want the user level to be greater than 2 here because I don't want them to accidentally click on a button. And for this one, reject change task and user level definitely is greater or equal to 2. So sometimes you reject a change task, something goes wrong or it's just not needed or something like that. And you've got to specify that, no, we did not do this task. A lot of the times default, it will be like, okay, this whole thing just failed and all that kind of stuff. Oh no, this is reject the change task in whole. No, this is just reject this one change task. So yeah, there's a good reason why you need this in. Yeah, you can give them an account or even give them a link with an upload option. Ooh, yeah. I need to set up a Nextcloud instance because my friends send me a ton of ISO files. Yeah. Yeah. And yes, Windows 10's Enterprise Edition has 100% legal activation key. I was actually talking to... I have 50 copies of Windows, most versions, because I essentially bought it through NearBeach because I test NearBeach under Windows and stuff like that. I need a legit copy for testing, so I bought 50 copies, legit, for NearBeach. So yeah, I only really needed like half a dozen. All right, so got all this sort of set up. So that should work now. We shouldn't have any issues. So if we go back into that RFC, I'm just copying and pasting URLs because, you know, it's just faster. Scroll down. All right, we don't see anything. We don't even see the save button. So that way it just cancel. How much does Enterprise cost even? That is actually a really good Windows 10 Enterprise. I honestly don't know. But you get a lot for Enterprise from what I faintly know. There's a volume license, client, licensing program, yeah. So you need to buy 5. How much does Windows 10 cost? Windows 11 cost? Because I've always, even though I'm not a Windows user, mainly a Linux user, even though I'm on a Mac, I've always bought copies of Windows. Okay, so XP was probably the one which we actually had a legit copy of XP. No, I had a legit copy of XP because I bought a Dell and I had a legit copy. And then I bought Windows 7 and that was a legit copy. I bought Windows 8, 8.1. I upgraded to 10 for free. And then I kind of lost that whole process because you have to do something really weird. You have to install Windows 8, then you have to upgrade it to 8.1, and then you have to upgrade it to 10. And I was like, no, screw that. I'm not doing this again. And then I needed to test NearBeach out on Windows, so I bought the 50 copies. And hey, Rich Codes Web, how are you? What time is this? It must be silly early. It is 9:40 p.m. for me. I am in Australian Eastern Standard Time. Somewhere over here. In glorious Melbourne. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be somewhere over here. I don't know where. Somewhere in South Korea. And then a few weeks after that, I'll be over here for a little while. And then I'll be back. So yes, I am going to change time zones. I will have to deal with that with streaming. I'll probably bump down to 2 days of streaming a week. Just because I want to do all the touristy stuff. Anyway, how much does Windows cost? I don't know. So the Pro Edition is 340 Australian dollars. The Home Edition is 225. Did you know MS provides testing VMs for free? Oh, nice. I did not know that. They also provide, and NearBeach has applied for this and successfully gotten it. So Azure, not for, Microsoft, not for profit. So not for profit offers. So if anyone's running a not-for-profit out there, Microsoft does actually give you some discounts and credits. So we are getting some credits for Azure, and we are slowly moving everything from AWS to Azure. We have done the small stuff. We've got to do the bigger stuff soon. So I'll need some help with Kubernetes, getting that cluster running up on Azure, and then once that's running up, and stuff like that, I can slowly shut down the AWS side of things. So yeah, didn't think it was that early in Melbourne, that early evening in Melbourne. Yeah. It'll change once daylight savings hits, which is next month. So daylight savings, I do believe, is the first Sunday, so it happens on the Sunday morning, where we will be going forward an hour. So this time would be actually 10:30. Oh, 10:40. I can't spell. Daylight Savings Victoria. So yeah, moved forward on the 2nd of October. So, and then, you know, I kind of like it, because it means I get to ride home and it's light. Not that that helps cars see me on the road, because they clearly don't. Anyway, getting back to this, yes, you can actually, if you run a not-for-profit, you can actually get some AWS credit, Azure credits for your not-for-profit. And other sort of stuff too. I don't know if you need a TechSoup thing. We already had one, so we copied and pasted that value in the appropriate place. So I'm not sure if you still need it. So yeah. Alright, so this is now done. So the user can't delete, which is great news. It should also stop it at the back end. So this is now ready for retesting. I'm just going to do a comment. We wrote up a new decorator for the change tasks. And then I still love that command. The thing where it's like, shh, I think it meant commands. All right, and then pass that value into the template. All right, Socks is sitting up there, just cleaning herself. I am going to just double check everything in the change task views to make sure that I don't need to pass anything extra down. So I'm just looking for the templates. So one quick way to do this: loader.get template. Looks like that's the only one in here. So that's the only one we really need to worry about sending the permissions down, which is great. All right, what is the time? It is 22. I've still got time to do stuff. All right. So any user can. We've done that one. We've done that one. Let's not kill that code running. Let's kill this one. So git checkout NearBeach static. Okay, git status. If I can actually spell. So we've done the user permissions py. We've done the change task. Done that. All right, cool. Git add. Git commit. And what we want to do is bug fix. We want to grab this thing here, paste it in. Just checking that. All right, cool. And then we're just going to do a simple git push. All right. I keep forgetting we're at 29.6 now. One of these days it will be 1. I don't know when, but it will be 1. Until then, yes, I might go up to. I think the 0.30 branch will be working on epics or sprints. So I need to research more into that. I do want to get it as stable as possible before I hit that branch. The idea of when it hits that branch is we also want to re-implement Gantt charts and all that kind of stuff. So, but have them automatically generate. So you would source a parent object. So, for example, let's say you've got a requirement, which will have requirement items, which at both the requirement and requirement items level, you can connect and link to projects and tasks and all that kind of stuff, and it should start actually sorting them out onto a Gantt chart with those who are responsible and stuff like that. I need to go through the design of doing all that. So, yeah. The epics, and that actually might be in itself its own other major task. Why is my phone going off? And email. Oh yes, I've got to do something soon. When I say soon, I mean in about 45 minutes. Yeah. All right. Cool. And then we've got a screenshot. The users should have permissions logos. Yep. We're happy with this. So current issues. Let's filter for just the NearBeach application. Let's just filter out. Yep, just me. All right. Because there are a couple of tickets in here which I will have to get a UX UI designer in to help. Because, for example, if anyone's good at designing stuff, let's have a look at this. Here we go. If we put this as a, let's say, iPhone 6. Oh, this is fine. Let's just go cancel. But we come down here, this doesn't look nice. So I've got to redesign this so it looks all nice. So yeah. All right. And those, I'm terrible at design, so I have put them as a bug, but I can't do that. So anyone can delete change tasks. We have just... Why is that still submitted? That should be ready for retesting. All right, cannot see customer's profile picture under requirements. Oh, All right. Oh, sorry. I don't know if this is a quick one. The thing is, I will probably have to leave soon. Welcome text / notification text on login screen. When a user logs into the login page, some companies might want to. Oh yeah. That's another thing which we will be implementing too. And then I can push it for production, and then be like, hey, it's on production, but it is a very basic sort of thing at the moment. So yeah. Issues with uploading profile pictures. Oh, I've got to test that out properly. Static link. Please note that after the static, we need to have a single. Alright. I think that's yeah, I've got to fix that up. Okay. Oh, this is an old bug from Bugzilla. So some of you noticed that I'm on the U-Track sort of stuff. They've got a free tier which I am heavily using. And yeah. Logs in, navigate to the menu, new organization, types in organization detail and submits. New organization duplicate script. Ah, that is, yep, I've got to do that up. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. So I've used a number of bug trackers in the past. So U-Track's the current one. Bugzilla, you guys know about. Another one is HP Quality Center, which this is a very tiny image because you needed to use it on a very extremely tiny screen. Here's a bigger image, which was actually really kind of okay to use. The only problem is you need to use it in IE. Yes, and I don't know if that's still the same case nowadays. So if I wasn't actually building NearBeach, HP Quality Center would have been something I would have tried aiming for, or building a bug thing properly. So yeah, the thing is, HP Quality Center not only had defects in it, it had testing, it had requirements. So I nicked the requirements from HP Quality Center, or the basic idea of requirements, and morphed them into my own idea. So yeah. It was a powerful tool, but it was a lot of this nowadays. It's yeah. I remember having to use it a long time ago. I didn't hate it. Let's just say that. Yeah. Let's just say it's better tools nowadays. Alright, downloads, uploads will not work when not using the conventional setup for NearBeach. Ooh, this is actually a really good one. So I might actually have to bring out the Raspberry Pi to actually deal with this one. And set up NearBeach on the Raspberry Pi and all that kind of fun stuff. Right now I'm still waiting for a Pi with specs I want to come in stock. Yes, actually just before this, where was I looking, Grim? Where are you? There you are. I was looking this up and I was like, ooh, alright, cool. Reasonably priced, I probably could get one of these and stuff like that. Go to this site and it's all in German. And I'm just like, could buy 3 or 4 of them, and I'm still after these compute modules. So yeah. One day, I'll get you. And then I will build a Kubernetes development computer. Ooh, I've got a notification. Oh, yeah, no. Alright, I've just realized the time. I've pretty much got 10 minutes left. Let's have a quick look. Object link does not pull description into Kanban board. Oh, yeah, that one's going to be a bit of a hard one to actually do. Because it's an extra sort of step. I want to get some at some point, but it's not urgent. Yeah. I kind of want to get it as quickly as possible. Otherwise, I will probably have to set up my computer to do multiple VMs and all that kind of fun stuff. And I'm kind of like, I want something dedicated where I can turn it, boot it up and turn it off and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Eventually, the cluster will become a testing machine. So a testing dev Kubernetes type of stuff. So that way I can play around with it. I can get it to run tests, like end-to-end tests and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be like the final protocol before it actually deploys all the stuff. So yeah. And then under search, the requests for change statuses are numbers. Oh, this one should be... No, we had issues with this one a few weeks ago. All right. Anyway, it is almost 10. Let's try and find someone to raid. It has been a very productive day. Oops. Just making sure I've got nothing else to push. Get status, nothing. Great, cool. All right. We actually have a few people today. Kebab Skull is making games, if memory serves me correctly. Timberdo is making games. Retro making games. Talking about making games. Also accidentally forgot to delete a VM on a DigitalOcean and burned through $50 credit by accident. Oof. Ouch. And just credits. Yeah, that can happen. Let's go retro. I do have to turn him down very, very quickly. Alright. Just waiting through the ads, making sure that he is doing some programming. Alright. Yeah, it looks like he is, and then the screen just went all white. Do we know why the screen went white?
That overalls.
Alright, it's just on my side. Alright, cool. Thank you very much everyone for joining this evening. It has been great. It's been a pleasure. I'm happy to be back now. So after that week of I'm gonna count my hours in a minute. Yes, so thank you very much for being here, and we got a lot done, and yeah, I'll see you Wednesday. So have fun.